I have the title, the, the, the description here, provide the ability for a visitor to be able to give to the church online. I have Titan offering African Water and Shelter Project, Latin American Project, Building Fund, Atlanta Local Project. So I want to open the stores, see how it flows. As a member, I want to have the ability to pay my tithes on the church website so that I can support God's work. I have additional information here. Members are required to enter their first and last name, email, payments on the payment gateway page. The system should send an email to the member giving details of the transaction. And I recall you made mention of the fact that you want the give feature to be located at the heading menu. I added that in an additional information. Acceptance criteria. Given that the member is on the main page of the website, when the member clicks on the donate feature button, the system should direct the member to a new page where there'll be a list of the following features, namely Titan, offering water projects, building fund. Now, when the member clicks on the Titan feature button, it should redirect the member to the Titan page. On the Titan page, there should be the following currency denomination: 5, 20, 50, 80, 100. Members shall choose one of the above options. Now, there shall be also a custom field area on the Titan feature page. Members shall have the ability to enter any amount of their choice. Members shall also have the ability to select their preferred payment method from the following. So Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, Zelle, Android, and so on. And then, of course, they can also send in a check through the mail. Members shall fill in the required information after their selection. Confirmation of payment should be completed within 5 seconds of clicking the pay button. A confirmation message, "Thank you, we have received your tithe," should display. Then a member will have the ability to pay their tithe on the church website. Now, this procedure goes through every one of the give stories, so it's pretty much going to be the same thing. I'm just going to go back quickly so that you can look at the offering. It's pretty much the same thing that runs through it. Let me check about the project, probably because the project, I believe that you made mention of adding $500 to it as part of the currency. So I added 500 to it, but you can tell that it's pretty much the same breakdown. I'd like to go to the next one, the next epic. Media Center. So live and recorded church activities can be viewed globally by anyone. That was the description that I gave here. Here I said replay old and all previous programs. One of my stories. As a visitor, I want to be able to have the ability to replay old or previous programs on the church website so that I can connect to authentic teachings of the Word of God. And then additional information, old or previous programs must be arranged according to dates. Old or previous programs must be displayed with a description. And then acceptance criteria, given that the visitor is on the main page of the church website. When the visitor clicks on the media center, the visitor will be redirected to a new page where there will be following features in the live service, replay old and previous programs, and then services itself. And then visitors click on replay or previous program button. They shall be redirected to a new page and they will have a catalog of old or previous programs arranged neatly by date, time, and description. When the visitor clicks on any of the programs, then the system shall allow the member to watch all the previous programs on the website. This style also runs through the next two. I think the service is quite different. I want to click on the service quickly. Time. The same thing, view types, service, so that I can connect authentications. The same thing here. All service shall be displayed with their scheduled times and date. Now the acceptance criteria on the church main page of the website. Member clicks on the media center. Member shall redirect to a new page following all these features: live service, replay, and old videos, services. When the member clicks on the service button, they'll be redirected to a page where they'll be following services. So I recall you made mention of Wednesday Bible studies, Friday evening service, and then Sunday morning service. Now, when the member clicks on any of the programs, then the system shall allow the member to join the above service on the website. Now, when you go to, I already made mention, all services shall be displayed with the scheduled time and dates. I would like to move to something. Prayer requests. Prayer requests, I put in provide the ability for members to request for prayer and physical assistance. And I did a story on prayer requests itself. As a member, I want to have the ability to request for prayer assistance on the church website so that my prayers may be answered by God. I didn't put anything additional information, but then when you go to criteria, acceptance criteria, given that a member is on the main page of the church website, when the member clicks on the prayer request button, member shall be redirected to a new page where they'll have different fields to fill. So you have your first name, last name, email, phone number, city, state, zip code. Member shall have the ability to submit a prayer request drop-down list of either breakthrough, global opportunities, peace of mind, educational scholarship, and healing. Members shall have a test field where they can give a detailed description of what their prayer request is about. Members shall click the submit button after the test. Confirmation message saying we have received your request should pop up. Then system shall allow members to send their prayer request on the church website. Physical supports, it follows the same kind of trend. It follows the same system. Now, let me go back to another epic. eStore. So the eStore, members should have the ability to purchase church items online. My first store was a cement store. I want to have the ability to purchase church sermons on the church website so that I can listen to the good teachings of God. And additional information that I put here, church sermon should come with a description. So a name, preacher, etc. Church service should be displayed by their price attached to it. Since on each store, obviously, you're going to buy. There shall be such item functionality on the audio file page. On the payment gateway, users are required to enter their first and last name, email address. The system should send a confirmation of purchase to the visitor or member outline details of transaction. Now, acceptance criteria, given that the visitor is on the main page, on the home page of the church website. When the visitor clicks on the eStore button on the main page, visitor will be redirected to the eStore main page, where there will be a display of the following features: the sermon, audio materials, reading materials, arts, works, paraphernalia, conference tapes, church magazine. Visitor clicks on the sermon feature button. Visitor shall be redirected to the sermon page, where they shall have a catalog of church sermons. Visitors shall have the ability to select their preferred church center. Visitors shall click on the checkout button, which will redirect them to the payment gateway page after selection. Visitors shall have the ability to select their preferred payment method from the following, and then names based on all those things. Visitors will fill in the information after selecting payment type and click the Pay Now button. Confirmation of payment should be within 5 seconds of clicking the Pay Now button. A confirmation message pops up. Then visitor has the ability to purchase church sermons on the church website. Now, this one too is pretty much the same thing that runs through each and every story. The same thing. Hello?
Yes, we're here.
Okay. Do you want me to go through some of the stories or it's
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to content tapes. So it's pretty much the same thing here. I want to have the ability to purchase conference tapes on the church website so that I can watch past conference tapes. And then goes on here, first and last name. The system should send a confirmation to outline the details of transaction. Church conference tape should display their name. Comes with a price. Given that the visitor is on the main page of the website, visitors shall click on the e-store button on the main page. Visitors shall be redirected to the e-store main page where there will be the following features, and then it goes on. Visitors click on the conference tape feature. They shall be directed to the conference tape main page where they shall have a catalog of church conference tapes. They will have the ability to select their preferred conference tapes. They shall also have the checkout button, which will direct them to the payment gateway page. They have the ability to select the payment method, fill in, and click on the pay now. Confirmation pops up within 5 seconds. Confirmation message pops up, and then he has the ability to purchase the church conference tapes. Church magazines. Additional information on church magazine. I think I did a little bit something here. Church magazine items should be displayed by their name. Items should be displayed by their price attached to it. There should be a checkout button on the church magazine page, and visitors shall have the ability to choose the shipping duration of choice. I mean, I know this one I was going to come back to the stakeholder because we realized that sometimes they give you an option, either a normal posting or an express one. So I thought it would be going to be a good thing to add to it. But acceptance criteria, given that a visitor is on the main page on the check website, visitor shall click on the e-store button to on the main page. They will be redirected to the e-store main page where there will be the following features. So it's somewhat run through the same way, the procedure. I would like to move to resource center. To provide the ability for a member to have access to church resources. So my first story was an archive message and podcast. So when I click on that, it gives me that. It says that I want to have the ability to have access to church archive message and podcast on the church website so that I can listen to old message and podcast on the teachings of God. Now, additional information I put here, archive message and podcast shall be in the form of video or audio. Archive message and podcast should be arranged according to dates and time. Archive message and podcast shall be displayed with a description, name of the author or picture, the title of the message, acceptance criteria. So given that The visitor is on the main page of the church website. Visitor shall click on the resource center on the main page, and then she shall be directed to the resource center main page where there will be the following features: archive, message and podcast, confession, devotion, Bible study center. Now, visitor shall click on archive and podcast feature button. They will be redirected to the archive and podcast page. There shall be a catalog of archive message and podcast on this page. Then the member shall have the ability to select their preferred archive message and podcast to listen or watch. I believe that it's not description. Let me go to devotion. As a member, I want to have the ability to have access to all devotion times on the website so that I can build my spiritual life. Daily devotion should be displayed with scheduled date and time. Weekly devotion should be displayed with scheduled date and time. Now, given the member is on the main page of the church website, when the member clicks on the resource center on the main page, the member shall be redirected to the resource center main page where they will have the following features: archive, confession, devotion, Bible study. Member shall click on devotion feature. Member shall be redirected to the devotion page. There shall be the list of the following devotion types: daily devotion, weekly grace devotionals. Then the member shall have the ability to join any of the devotion type of your choice. Bible studies, so it's kind of the same 10 Bible study materials we are arranged according to the earlier topics. Bible study materials shall be in the form of PDF, Microsoft Word, and then DVD. Bible study materials can be downloaded. Now, given that a member is on the home page of the church website, the same thing goes on and on and on. They have the ability to select their preferred Bible study material in the end. I'll go back to, I believe, my last epic, and that is the location. Location members should be informed about the church locations near them. Here I did 2 stories: location finder and then church location list. As a visitor, I want to have the ability to put on my zip code in the location finder on the church website so that I can be informed about church locations near me. Now, additional information: if there is no church branches near the member after entering their zip code, no matching results found message should pop up. Member shall enter a 5-digit code. Code shall be a user entry field. Zip code shall accept numbers only. Sorry. Zip code functionality should not accept alphabet. Example: A, B, C, D. Zip code functionality should not accept special characters like art, goes on. Acceptance criteria: given that a visitor is on the main page of the church website, when the visitor clicks on the location button feature, it should redirect the member to a new page where they will have the following features: location finder and the location list. Visitor click on the location finder button, the system should direct them to the system should direct the member to a new page where they will find a zip code functionality. Members shall enter their zip code in the zip code space area and click on the search button. The system should display the address of the nearest church branch close to them. And then the last one, church location list. So I want the ability to view all the church location on the website so that I can be informed the church location near me. Given that this visitor is on the main page, goes and on, and then it comes in. Once I click on the location button, the member will be redirected to the new page displaying all church locations in the USA. We have Alabama BB Church. This is the address. The telephone number is right there. Arizona BB Church. Address, telephone number, California BB Church. Colorado, Florida, Georgia. Goes on and on and on. Yeah, I'm all done, folks. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Anyone has a question? Anything somebody saw that needs to be corrected? Yes. Question on the presentation. Anything that you saw, you think that story needs to be corrected? Okay. All right. Let's get going. So I'm going to go ahead and assign you guys to to the next project, and then I'll go ahead and also spell out the requirement as well. And also, I should have shared this yesterday, but I'll share this sometime today. So with this project that you guys have done, you guys will put it in a requirement document format, right? So I will share a template. So watch out for that in your WhatsApp groups. I will share a requirement template, right? And so you guys will use the requirement template, and then you guys will put all the features that you've worked on, right? Every feature that you've worked on, you guys will put that requirement template in that what you call it, BLD document. Okay. Yeah. So you guys will put it in that BLD document. So watch out for that. I will share that right after this class. I will share that BLD, assuming that nothing comes to mind and nothing takes me away. I will share that template, and then you guys will put it in the right format. So I'll expect that by Tuesday, right? That documentation or the BLE document is going to be due Tuesday morning. So Tuesday morning, I will inspect that the BLD or the business requirement document is due. So write it down somewhere that BLD is due Tuesday morning. All right. So let me go ahead and give you guys the pair you to the projects. So James, you're going to be working on a project named Money Matters Bank. Money Matters Bank. So James, that is going to be your project that you're going to be working on. Bernice, you're going to be doing Black credit card. There's a project name called Black credit card. So that's what you're going to be working on. Ebenezer, you're going to be doing the diaspora bank. Okay, diaspora bank. Okay, so diaspora bank. Ebenezer, that is what you're going to be working on. And then Kofi, you'll be working on TT Bank. TT Bank. So take note of that, TT Bank. And then Jeffrey, you're going to be doing Bamboo Bank. So Bamboo Bank. That's what you're going to be working on. All right, let me go over it one more time. So Money Matters Bank, James. Black credit bank, Black credit card, Bernice. Diaspora Bank, Eben. TT Bank, Kofi. Bamboo Bank, Jeffrey. All right, let me go ahead and do the requirement. Now, I hope you guys are taking notes. So all these projects that I've just called out, they are all lending institution. You can say financial institution. They are in that space, right? So Money Matters Bank, Black Credit Card, Diaspora Bank, TT Bank, Bamboo Bank, they are all in that space of lending money. All that they do is that they package money and then they sell money to people, right? That is what banks do. They package the money, they give it to you, and then they take back the money back again. With this time around, not just the money that they gave out, but with interest, right? That's what bank is in for. So all these institutions I talk about, they are in a space called embedded finance. Now, embedded finance is a vertical within the financial industry that now banks we're seeking to give money to people who are in need of financing when it comes to healthcare, who are there to buy um, items to improve their homes, so home improvement items. They want to remodel their bathroom, they want to remodel their pool, swimming pool at home, they want to change certain things, and so on and so forth. And then also retail, some people go to the store and they need money, they buy a few items and we can finance it for them, and then they can get the items that they need and then they can pay us later, right? So that is also one. And then what is going to be on e-commerce. But for this project, we're just going to focus on healthcare financing, right? We're just going to healthcare financing. So for instance, if you go to a dentist, you go to a doctor's office, and you need a procedure, right? And when you need a procedure, as a lending institutions, we are working with a lot of providers. When I say providers, that means doctor's office, different hospitals, different dentists of offices, veterinaries and whatnot. So these are the lines of providers that we're working with. And what are we doing? So when people come into their office, the doctor's office, and they come and do their medical checkup and whatnot, they realize that they need to take a procedure. That means they will have to get a surgery done, right? Surgery can be very expensive, can cost anywhere between, sometimes from $500 to about 50,000, 60,000 and whatnot. Maybe more than that. There are some procedures and surgeries that cost a whole lot. It's going to cost you an arm and a leg, to just to get some surgery or a little procedure done. So what we do is that we finance people when they go to their provider's office. So once the doctor is telling them, now with this your case, this your issue, we have to perform this surgical procedure on you. Then the question comes in, would you be able to finance it? Do you have the money, right? And sometimes some of these things, even if you have health insurance, it does not cover it, right? So it's going to be an out-of-pocket expenses, right? It's going to be an out-of-pocket type of expense. That means you'll have to cough that money out yourself. You have to pay out of pocket, pay by your own self. And so instead of going back home feeling sorry for yourself, probably going to die, then the doctors will give you an option. Look, we're working with Money Matters Bank. We're working with Black, credit card. We're working with Diaspora Bank. We're working with TT Bank. We're working with Bamboo Bank. They can offer you the financing that you need. And then what's going to happen is that, after the financing, you will pay back the money to them with interest, right? So for this project, there's a whole lot of things that needs to be done, but we're just going to go with MVP, right? MVP. That means minimal viable product. Keep that in mind. Minimal viable product. So there are so many things that we need to build, we need to do, but we really want to go to the market immediately. So we don't have time. So with this project, there are a couple of portals that you guys have to keep in mind as well. So there are 4 portals on each on each project that you guys will build. So number 1 is going to be a lender portal. You guys will build a lender portal. That's number 1. And then number 2, there's going to be a borrower portal. It's going to be a borrower portal. That's number 2. Number 3, there's going to be a provider portal. That is more or less like a doctor's or dentist or whatever type of portal, right? And then number 4, there's going to be a servicer portal, right? So the lender portal is the institution that is lending the money. There's going to be an interface, a platform where they go, they see all the loans, portfolios, they see all the debt portfolios of, individuals and providers that they're lending money to and whatnot, right? And then there's going to be a borrower portal. So borrower is the individual who is also wanting the money, who's looking for the financing, right? So that individual, after they go through the application process, they can go back to their own portal, customized portal, where they see all the money that they owe, the documents that they sign at the time of the application, all the agreements and other things. They'll be able to see all those documents again. They'll be able to set and then change payment terms, and they'll be able to add preferred method of payment on how they will pay back the money on installment, right? So the borrower portal will have something, but I will come to the specifics of what we really want to take to the market as MVP. And then the provider portal. So every dentist, every doctor, every physician, every whatever, those that are in that space of being a provider, a veterinary, a vet, whatever, they will have their own portal as well, where they will initiate the application for the applicant, right? So let's say I'm sitting in front of you, Bernice. Bernice is a doctor. So I come to Bernice and say, hey, Bernice do all those things that she has to do as a doctor, and then she diagnosed me and then say, Mrs. Samuel, we would have to do this surgery. We have to go through this procedure. Then, if I agree to all the things that she's telling me, she will kick off the application right in my presence, right? So she'll kick off the application. She will initiate the application for me, and then she will take some basic information from me, like first name, last name, phone number, email, and whatnot. Basic information. And then once she plugged my data into the initial front end, right whilst I'm sitting with her, a message will be sent to me. So there are 3 ways that I'm going to be able to continue the application by myself, right? So 3 ways. I will receive a text message. That text message will come with a link, a URL, like a link, a web link that I can click on, and I'll continue with the application. And then I will also receive an email as well. I want you guys to take note here, because there's going to be a story for the provider to trigger this application. And that is what I'm narrating here. So take note of that. So when the provider triggers the application by collecting basic data such as first name, the last name, email address, telephone number, and then of course, there's going to be an input from the provider where this application is coming from. So the provider is sent out, something like that. So there's going to be a provider ID, right? To be able to identify which hospital or maybe doctor's office that I'm visiting that has that unique, provider's ID. So once he triggers that, or he or she triggers that, Bernice triggers that for me, I'll receive a text message. I'll receive a email as well. And then the emails and the text message will come with a link. That is where I will proceed to finish off with the application. So usually there are sensitive data and other things that I need to put in that I will not put in at a doctor's office, right? So when she initiates the process for me, it is going to be my turn to get the link and then complete the application from my side. It can be done anywhere. It's a secure process, right? So when she triggers the application, now when I click the link for the SMS message or from the one that is in my email, an application page is going to open, right? And we need to have a story that will address this. So the application page that will open, we will have the patient, that is you, who want that surgery or who want that procedure done. There's going to be a patient responsibility amount. So how much money, do you as a person, can you put down, right? Can you put down for this procedure? And then there's going to be a procedure date field where there's going to be a calendar engine in there where the person will select the date that this procedure is scheduled, right? And also keep in mind here that procedures will not exceed 60 days, right? Procedure date will not exceed 60 days. So if today is the 10th of February, or the 11th of February, so that means March 10th is going to be 1 month. April 10th is going to be 2 months. So procedure should not be far off from 60 days, right? So when you select a date, the calendar will ensure that, this is a requirement. The calendar will ensure that you don't have a procedure date that goes into, say, May, June. No, it will only allow you to only select a date that is 60 days from, today, or from that day that you you completing the application. And then down payment amount, right? So down payment amount. So the amount that you're gonna be putting down, that's a down payment amount, and then the requested amount. We're gonna have a field for requested amount. So requested amount is gonna be a field where you will put in the total sum of money that you need from the bank or from the lending institution, right? So you put down that information. Now on that same um, form, you will have information about your first name. You confirm all these fields that were already put in: first name, last name, your street address, your city, your state, your zip code, and of course your email. Now you will also have other section, other portion that you will have to put in your social security number. So social security number is 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. It's a 9-digit number that needs to be put in as well. So social security number is a 9-digit number that every individual that is applying for the loan for the procedure, you need to put in your social security number as well. So that is going to be one story, one feature, one story, on the provider side that we know will have to get done. And then when all of this is done, we will have something also on the servicer portal. So the servicer portal is going to be the portal for the end client team, right? So let's say it is Money Matters Bank or Black Credit Card or Diaspora Bank. You're going to have a team that will be like customer service people, or that will be your employees or your staff. So they can go on the platform that is a servicer portal and then look at all the loans that are pending, applications that are pending that has not been approved yet, those that are needing further review. They will see all those type of things in there. They will also get to see a couple of reports, right? So they will see a report of loans that have been received for the day or for the week or for the month. They can see all those type of reports that are in there. They will see reports for profit report, and then they will see loans report by provider. So this is what you guys also have to keep in mind. Every provider, there's going to be something like a spending limit that the lending institution is going to give to the provider. So let's say Bernice's office, she's a doctor, right? So her practice office will be given a budget by the lending institution of, say, $500,000 per year, right? So this is the money that is like allocated or budgeted for every provider. So Bernice's doctor's office is giving like $500,000 a year, and then when patients come in, she will start, issuing this money out in terms of financing, until she has exhausted all the $500,000 for the year, right? Yeah. So that's the money that is given to. So we will see all those kind of reports on the servicer portal. We will see how much money have been spent, what is the outstanding balance of money that has not been dispersed, dispersed yet. We'll see all those type of reports that are in there on the servicer portal. And if application has not been approved and need further review, the administrators or the workers, they can look in, check in with what is the issue. Did the applicant miss something? Did they not fill the forms, completely? What is going on? They'll be able to do that. The provider also, on their portal, they'll be able to see similar thing like that. How many people have you given loans to? How many patients? They will see all the outstanding balance. They will see clients, procedure dates that have been scheduled in the system. When somebody completes the, mind you, that he it's like, Bernice will trigger or initiate the application, but I would have to go back home and complete it and put in all the personal data and other things. So when I finally schedule the surgery date, that surgery date will be sent back to Benny's office so that she knows that I'm coming in for surgery on March 10th, right? Or maybe March 5th, something like that, right? So all this information on all those type of reports, the provider portal, we will see all those in there. So we see reports on outstanding, budget. That's going to be a story. So keep in mind, hint. We'll see also money that has been disbursed out. That's going to be another story, right? We will see, procedure dates, people that are coming in that have been scheduled. We will see all of those views as well, the days that they have been scheduled and whatnot. We will see all those things in there. The provider will also be able to see some type of reporting on their profit. Mind you, that what we are doing, the provider also gets something small, right? So if there's an interest that's going to be charged on the patient for the money that we're lending out, we will be splitting, the lender and the provider or doctor's office will be splitting that money, and that money is going to be, here's how it's going to be split. It's going to be 80-20, right? So the doctor's office will have 80%, 20% of that interest comes to them, and then 80% will go to the lender because we are actually giving the money out, right? And so we need to have a huge chunk of that, interest money coming back to us, plus our principal money, right? That is what we own. It is only the interest that gets splitted, right? Only the interest that gets splitted. Let me say that one more time. It's only the interest that gets splitted. The provider's office get 20% of that interest, and then 80% comes to the lender, right? The institution that's giving out the money, plus their principal amount that they're giving out to that patient, right? They get it back. Okay, all right. So we've talked about the borrower portal, provider portal, servicer portal. Let's talk about the lender portal. Okay, so the lender is almost like the servicer portal, but the lender will have additional capabilities as well. So not only will they see all the things that the servicer portal will see, but they will able to have additional view of all the providers that they have across the country, and even if there are other providers outside of the country as well, they will be able to have a dashboard of loans buyouts. They can sell the loans that they've given out to other lending institutions as well. So that is another thing that will be in there that for them to see. They have the view of all applications, that needs review. They will see all those things as well. Am I good so far? Questions? This is requirement elicitation time, so it is not just myself. You guys need to also be asking questions. You guys have to unmute and then be asking questions. That is how elicitation is done, right?
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Would it be possible for the doctors to be the ones providing the schedules for the procedures rather than the patient choosing their own schedule?
No, it has to be the patient. The doctor cannot schedule somebody. Being that the whole point of it is that when you need a surgery done, the doctor will trigger it. And of course, in our system, you cannot do it more than 60 days, right? So that means if your case, it doesn't matter how dire or how critical your case is, the rule of thumb here is that it needs to be done in 60 days. And 60 days,
Okay.
you will not die, right? You will not die if you don't get it done. That's 60 days.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Okay, guys, we have 7 minutes. Anything? So on the, let me also say this also over here. So when the provider triggers the application for you whilst you're there with him or her, you'll be redirected to a page that we call the trust page, right? It's a page that we call the confidence page, right? So on that page, you will get to see a couple of information about there that this is Money Matters Bank or Black Credit Card partnering with the provider information. So the doctor's office name, so the doctor's office, I want you guys to be creative. It's going to be ABC or CAD. Just put in any kind of healthcare or medical center or something, the name. And then you say you have partnered with that to provide financing for patients. So that will give the person confidence that this is not a scam page. This is an actual process of what has been triggered, what has been initiated by the doctor, right? And of course, there's going to be two-factor authentication to ensure that this is the right patient. So when the doctor triggers the initial application, remember that he or she puts in their phone number and the email address in the initial process, right? What that is going to do is that when the patient come on the platform to continue, the patient will be asked of their phone number, right? And when they enter their phone number, to be sure that this is the right person that the initial person was initiated for, an OTP. An OTP is one-time password. A 6-digit code will be sent to the patient as SMS, and then they will be asked to enter the OTP, that is the one-time password, into a field, right? So when they enter it, it then means yes, you are the right person that the doctor triggered this application for. So that is like a 2FA. 2FA is two-factor authentication, right? Um, so the patient will enter that and then we'll proceed with the application, just like I said earlier. But the two-factor authentication is critical, right? To be ensured that this is the right person, this is the right phone number for the person that the doctor triggered this application for. So continue with application. We have 5 minutes. Guys, questions?
Good morning, everyone. Quick question.
Yeah.
Will the two-factor identification be a process where the customer have to go through every time, or they just go on one time, make the application, and they don't really visit the account? Can they revisit the account and make bulk payment
Yeah.
if they want to make payment before the 60 days?
Yeah, the whole point of it is that yes, the two-factor is just going to be a one-time thing. So that's why I say OTP, right? So OTP is one-time passcode, right? Or password. So we just want to make sure that you are the right person continuing the process of this application, right? So that is that. So when it's an application, you put in all the data that I said. You will also be prompted to enter a username and a password, right?
Right.
Yeah, so that is what you're going to be using to log into the borrower portal all the time. So the username and the password. I want you guys to be creative here. Username is just going to be a combination of alphanumeric, so alphabet and numbers. It must not exceed 15 characters long, right? That's going to be username. And then for password, the minimum for the password is 8 character limit, and then the maximum is going to be 20. And it's going to be a combination of one uppercase, lowercase, some numbers, and a special character or special symbol must be in there. Give a password. So that's what the users, the borrower will use in getting in all the time. And the other thing that you said about if you wanted to pay, so there's going to be, yes, like I mentioned, it's going to be preferred method of payment. We will use the same preferred method of payment just like we've said for other projects. It's going to be in there. And then auto pay, you can set up auto pay. You want to set auto pay, another feature in there that you don't necessarily have to come there every month to make payment of your installment, right? You can set up auto pay, and it will deduct by itself from whatever method of payment that you set on the account.
Okay. All right. And my other question is, with the username, is this supposed to be a username created by the, should I say, for lack of a better word, the customer or the patient?
Yeah. The username is going to be your own preferred username. You choose yourself.
Okay, so it's not going to be an email address. It's something that we can allow them to choose themselves, or
Yes.
it can be either or. They can use the email address or.
Well, since you're saying this, I will be specific here. The email address is not going to be there. The username is not going to be email. It's going to be your own, custom username, right?
Okay. All right. And this is just clarification, okay? So if I got everything right, it is a patient coming to the hospital and not being able to pay, and there'll be a third-party provider who will be in partnership or who will work together with the bank to provide the money to the hospital, and then the patient will be paying to the provider, correct? Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
And me being a credit card and everybody else being a bank, are there any specific information that I should need apart from everybody else? Or
It's the same thing. Everybody's giving out money.
okay.
So there's going to be obviously there's going to be a login page, right? So what page are we is the customer going to log in into, right? When you're talking to the banking page, you can have a banking page. So at this point, which page is he going to put his username and a password?
So you were cutting in and out. I couldn't hear the first part. So you were saying that, what page is the borrower going to log in?
Yes.
Yeah. So your what's the name of your
Money matters.
money management? Okay. So every URL that is going to be used is going to be a prefix of the portal. So it's going to be, say, lender.moneymatters.com, right? And then you also have, borrower.moneymatters.com. That's going to be the portal for the borrower platform. And then you have a provider, provider.moneymatters.com, right? And then you have the servicer.moneymatters.com. So that's going to be the portals that is going to be unique to each one of the verticals that we have.
Okay. So that means that when you put in that into the browser and it opens, it's going to
Right.
open in a page where you have your username and your password where you can log in, right?
Exactly.
Okay. I guess we'll come back for more
Yeah, and
clarity.
then there's going to be another URL. They can simply also go to your main page, which is moneymatters.com, or maybe blackcreditcard.com or diasporabank.com, and then / when as soon as they do, anybody does, / they do EL embedded lending, they will be presented with all these options to select. So they'll have lender, borrower, provider, and then servicer. So you just have to click on who you are, and then you'll be redirected to your individual portal as well.
Oh, okay.
So if it's Money Matters Bank, for instance, .com, when you're on your bank main page and you go to moneymatters.com / EL, right? EL. By just going to that URL straight, you have all the 4 options over there. So based on who you are, if you're a provider, that's what you click. If you're a borrower, that's what it's going to be a click for you to click. If you're a lender, and then it will redirect you to your own portal. So that is another way to, find you.
Okay.
All right, that's it, guys. It's already 7:03. Eben, Kofi, you guys are straight for now. I gotta go. Right? I assume that you guys are straight for now.
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. So that's it for you, guys. We'll reconvene here tomorrow. Tomorrow, though, I'm gonna start with quality assurance, and then I'm gonna start with QA testing, and then I will allot some time to do some clarification with your requirement. If you have questions and other things like that, towards the ending of my tomorrow's session, I'll maybe do like 15 minutes or 10 minutes to clarify issues with requirement. This requirement is going to be due next week, Thursday, right? So by next week, Thursday, all these feature sets and everything is all written and it's all done, looking great. When I say Thursday, that means Thursday is going to be like as we have done today for the first project that we did, right? So that means we would have gone through a couple of reviewing, and by Thursday, everybody have gotten the opportunity to present their requirements, their stories, and whatever that they've done, right? So that's what I mean by Thursday. So by Thursday, that means everybody, the last person should have presented by Thursday.